Hello everyone, it is Carol from Lily Rose Blue. I hope, I'm moving my ring light because I'm still just not loving the light I'm getting or not getting. Hopefully that's better. I'm so sorry. I looked down and I'm like, no, I just don't care. Just don't care for that. So what I have for you today is absolutely an experiment. This is piano roll paper. It is pretty fragile. It really is. I've put my fingernail through it already a couple of times. But here's why I've come on to do this video. I want to play with piano roll paper and find out what I can and cannot do with it. And I thought you would be interested too. So here's nothing, as they say, right? Here's nothing. So the first thing that I'm going to try, let me show you. I am going to try gluing paper. So what does glue do? How well does paper stick? This is scrapbooking paper, so it's pretty thick. As opposed to, you know what? I should grab. Hang on. I can do this. I was going to grab something else that was not quite that thick that we could play with. And am I finding anything? Here we go. So we've got scrapbooking paper and music paper that is much thinner. I would say your traditional cheaper printer paper. So we're going to play with those. We are going to play with distress ink, both with and without water. We're going to play with regular ink. And by the way, I just randomly grabbed product. The color really has no rhyme or reason. We're going to try some alcohol ink on piano roll paper. Just regular acrylic paint. Distress spray. Regular glimmer mist. Glimmer mist, I've had this forever. This was the very first product of spray. And we're going to try some magicals. Just, again, this is play. This is absolutely play. And we're going to see what works and what doesn't work. So I don't know what is the most bold thing. Probably something with water. So let's try that first. I am just going to put a little blob, make sure you can see that, yep, of alcohol ink on this paper. It is soaking through right now. It may end up being just a blob like that. I'm not sure, and that's okay. If that's what it ends up being, that's okay. So that's alcohol ink. This is distress spray. Okay, also wet. Here is, whoops. By the way, any kind of spray with pigment in it, you should shake like this. Or even better, if you think twirling it in a circle is going to work for you, that's even better. Do not go up and down. That puts the pigment in the nozzle and it will not spray out. Okay. Okay, this is traditional glimmer mist or glimmer spray. We're challenging this paper, whoops, pretty quickly. I just dropped. There we go. Yeah, let's try this one. You know, using product that is wet. Oops, come on. This is, I'm gonna come right there. This is Lindy's Magicals, and this is Yesteryear Yellow is the color that we're playing with right now. And I'm going to spray water right on that. Again, challenging this paper pretty significantly, I would say. Okay. I'm going to move this over. Roll out a little bit more paper. I think we have some observations here already. I'm just going to rub this ink. This is Memento Tuxedo Black ink. This is a water-based ink. It is, so it's not dye. It's a water-based ink. Here is Distress ink. Happens to be milled lavender. And I'm just going to rub that on there. And last but not least, we're just going to try a blob of paint. And we're going to see, of course, oh, I forgot. I got to do paper yet. I lied. It is not last but least. But let's try, and of course you've got, you know, the piano roll holes, because that's, you know, that's the beauty of piano roll paper. Right? Okay. Okay, we'll do that. Then I am going to just take a piece. That's been inked. I better not use an inked piece. And I'm actually going to use glue stick, I think, on this piece of paper versus wet glue. Actually, I'll do both because, again, that's part of the experiment. I'm trying to get this on every surface. So here, this is glue stick. That felt pretty good, putting it down. And pardon the reach, guys. Where's my music paper? Here. This is my music paper. And I am going to use wet glue on this. And we're just going to see. Now, this glue is about out. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. I am having to squeeze pretty gosh darn hard here. But let's try that. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get my pen back in my glue so my glue doesn't dry up. There's so much pressure, the glue's continuing to come out. So, here are my observations so far. Because of the type of paper that this is, it's almost got a waxy feel. I feel like sprays and water are kind of sitting right on top and not doing too much. Right? Here, here, here. The alcohol ink, and it did bleed through to the back. The alcohol ink doesn't look half bad. Okay. Anything with water or liquid seems to pretty much just be sitting on top of this paper. I'll come back to that though. The regular ink, water-based ink, seems to be doing okay. Did not rub off. The Distress ink, let me try this with this paper. Yeah, the Distress ink is sitting on top of there a little bit. We'll see if it dries, so you can see that. And that's actually more so the color of this Milled Lavender. The paint, it's kind of thick where it's still wet, but that may work. That may work. The glue stick seems to have glued, adhered very well. And that was my impression the moment I laid it down. And the wet glue also seems to have stuck. So, you know, there we go. I kind of wanted to know, I mean, this is a pretty fragile kind of paper to work with, but I wanted to know how fragile. I also wanted to know just what its properties were. So I think we gave it a pretty good test. I am going to let this dry, and I'll try to remember to bring this back another day to show you. And you know what I'm going to do? I am actually going to go ahead and dab this stuff with a paper towel. I think if you would dab the Glimmer Mist, I think it would stay. And I don't know if you guys can appreciate, but it looks pretty fun. It does look pretty fun. This is still wet, regardless of me dabbing it. But I think if you do that, this might still work. But you have to understand that it is going to sit on top, and you may or may not get the coverage that you were hoping for when you use that product. But again, hopefully you can see it is very pretty. And then this was the Distress Oxide Spray. Sorry, that's a paintbrush. Same thing. I think if you understand that you're going to have to dab at it after you apply it, I also think that could work. Again, I'm going to let this cure, and we will see what happens. But this was kind of a fun experiment. And how do you know until you try? That's my motto. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I just thought of something I didn't try. Hang on. 2 things I didn't try. That just, I don't know why, just popped in my head. So here, I've got some Distress crayons. Let's just draw let's just draw. Uh-oh. Come on. Be nice. Be nice. Oh. That's fun. That's fun. That works. And I'm assuming we're going to see the same thing here when you spray on that Distress crayon and you rub at it. But again, just using the crayon alone, I think is fun. And then I just grabbed watercolors. I don't know why I didn't think of that before when I thought of other paint. Silly, silly me. Now, I moved that. Here we go. I was going to say I moved that paintbrush and now I can't find it. Again, pardon the reach. I only have a fine... Oh, look. Well, somehow I didn't get that brush cleaned out very well. And I don't know what that is. I do not know what is on that brush, so I'm not going to use that. Let me grab this one. It's seen better days, so this might not be the... I will throw this poor brush away after this experiment. Let's try some watercolor. Okay, I would say the same thing, that it is well, it's a little different. It's not sitting on top of the paper as much as some of the other product, like the shimmer sprays, the Magicals, and the oxide ink sat on the top. So that's interesting. I'd say these were kind of high sitting on the top. I would say this is moderate. And again, when you dab at it, it actually looks pretty fun, right? So, I don't know. Good experiments. Again, pardon my reach. I apologize. I hope you guys enjoyed this experiment. This gives me some ideas of what I can and cannot use piano roll paper for. Could I use it as a substrate? I would have to attach it to some other thing that was a little more substantial. Could I do that? Perhaps. That said, I mean, I could see doing like a strip of a color and cutting that and using that on a collage, a page, you know, in your journal, a masterboard, you know, something like that. I think that would be fun. I don't know. I have to think about this. Again, gonna let it cure, and I'll bring it back on one of the next videos that I do, just so you can see what it looks like. The other thing to keep in mind is it is obviously... I wouldn't even call this cream. I would call it ecru or beige. And so your colors, try your colors on it first before you really dive into a big project, because they are not going to look the same as, let's say, what they would look like on white paper. So again, just keep that in mind. Let's just quick. I know this. I do this every time, guys. I say I'm done, and then I never am. So again, this is Distress Ink Milled Lavender. This is that color directly placed on the piano roll paper. this is the color on white. I like them both. I do. I like them both. So that's just another thing to keep in mind. And this was I would call it rose red. I'm getting more pink vibe than I'm getting red vibe. But it, again, depends what you're looking for. So don't forget to try colors on, different colors of paper. I would say you should test them. Try them out. But if you think of this, one color of product, let's say this distress ink, you could put that on 3 or 4 different colors of paper, and you're going to get a new color every time. So that might be something kind of fun. And it expands the range of your product. Again, I just thought of this. This is a Uniball Signo, one of those white pens. That seems to have worked well. And I just happen to have a narrow marker in front of me. Let's try this. Whoops. If I put the cap in the right place, that might be helpful. Yeah, see, you have to not press very hard at all. But it seems to work. This narrow marker seems to work. Again, you just can't press it too hard because I poked right through the paper there. Anyway, fun experimenting. I just happened to look up and I saw that in front of me and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let's just try regular ink. I'm going to write, oop, that is pretty wet still. This is a pen from Carrie the Paper Monkey. So I'm just going to write Carrie in regular ink. I think it looks okay. Again, the caution I would have there is it's really, really, really easy to poke right through the paper. Okay, I think we're good, fans. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. As always, please, 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 please take care. Stay safe. Have fun. Take some time for yourself. And God bless. Good night.